everyone, my name is Anna and I'm a counsellor, and one of the things I talk to people about is worry and stress and anxiety, and I'm here to talk to you today about the anxiety gremlin and what we can do about him. So, what is the anxiety gremlin? The anxiety gremlin is a way of thinking about that horrible little voice we have sometimes that tells us that we're worried or that we're scared or that we're really fearful or anxious or stressed out. A lot of people have this voice. In fact, it's probably right to say that nearly everyone in their lifetime has heard that little anxiety gremlin. It's the voice that tells you that you're not good enough, that you're too scared to do something, that you're so worried about something that you won't do it or leave the house. And it's that voice that stops you from doing the things you like to do because you're feeling too anxious, too worried, too fearful, or too stressed. So first of all, let's think how the anxiety gremlin rears his ugly little head. You will have seen in a different video that Shelley spoke to you about what anxiety is. And I guess the thing you're seeing on screen at the moment is the cycle of anxiety and how you start to hear the anxiety gremlin. Something makes us feel fearful or worried, and it makes us feel sweaty or anxious or panicky. And then we start to have all these different emotions, and that's when the anxiety gremlin starts to rear his ugly head. I'm guessing you know what your anxiety gremlin sounds like. When you have him, he probably stops you doing the things that you want to do, makes you more worried about stuff that you usually don't worry about. Maybe it makes you a bit more anxious about people, how you feel, how people are safe and well, especially if you're caring for somebody as well. It's going to make you even more worried and even more stressed about that situation. So it's really, really important that we learn how to squish him, how to make him very, very quiet so that you can feel better. So the first thing that's really important to tell you is that this is really normal. Everybody has an anxiety gremlin. Everybody has that horrible little voice that makes them feel worried and stressed. You are not alone. It isn't just happening to you. It's happening to lots of different people for lots of different reasons. So first and most importantly, you need to remind yourself that it is normal and okay to be worried and stressed. It's what we do about it that matters the most. Now, it's really important to remember that we've only got so much space in our heads, and because it's really normal to feel the way that we feel, it kind of doesn't make sense to keep it all in. So one of the most important things that you have to think about is talking to someone. Now, that might be the person that you live with, it might be using someone from Action for Family Carers, it might be just writing it down for yourself, but get it out of your head. The more we keep things inside, the bigger and worse and uglier that anxiety gremlin becomes. So if you're feeling worried, you're feeling stressed, just tell someone. You will be amazed at how much better you might feel just saying the words out loud. Now, if it's really difficult to talk to someone that you know, get yourself a book, get yourself some paper and just write it down. Even if you write it all down and then screw it all up and throw it away at the end, getting it out of your head is really important. So tell someone and get it out. It's okay to not be okay. The second thing to remember is this will pass. Nothing is permanent. If you're feeling really, really worried or really stressed right now, it's not going to be like that forever. So one of the things you can do to help you is when you're really noticing that anxiety gremlin is rearing his ugly head and you're having really worried or stressful thoughts, then you can use a little breathing technique I'm going to tell you about called belly breathing. Belly breathing is a really good technique. It doesn't take you very long and it's really, really easy to do. And all it is about taking 5 breaths in a certain way. It helps you calm down and it helps stop some of those anxious thoughts when you're most having them. So, how do we do belly breathing? You might want to pause the video here so you can get yourself nice and comfortable. But it's really simple and I'll talk you through it and you can have a practice for yourself. Belly breathing is a way to help calm our body and our brain, so to make us feel better. And all it is about using your tummy muscles as you breathe. So, sitting up nice and straight, I'm going to ask you to take a nice deep breath in. Have a look at the picture on the screen. You can see that as we breathe in, we push our tummy out as much as possible. Make it as large as possible, so really push it out. We hold our breath for just a few seconds, and then as we breathe out, we suck our belly in nice and tight, as if we're trying to force the air up and out of our lungs. So we take a nice deep breath in, push our belly out, pause for a minute, and then a nice deep breath out and suck our belly in. Now when you breathe out, you want to do it a bit like you're blowing out a candle. So imagine how you blow out a candle. That's how you want to breathe out. So deep breath in, tummy out, deep breath out, tummy in. You can use belly breathing anytime you feel yourself getting stressed, worried or overwhelmed. You should start to feel a little bit more relaxed after you've done it, a little bit more comfortable and less stressed. So you can do it 5, 10, 20 times a day if you like. It's also really good for sleep. So if you're laying in bed at night feeling stressed or worried or anxious and you can't sleep, this is a great way to squash the anxiety gremlin. Do some nice deep belly breathing to help yourself feel more calm and more relaxed. Yep, that's absolutely true. Be kind to yourself. It's one of the most super important things you can do when you're stressed, anxious or worried. Just think about it for a minute. If your best friend told you that they were really sad, really down, really upset and feeling worried, stressed and anxious, what would you say? Would you tell them to suck it up and get on with it? Or would you try and be really kind and supportive to them and helpful? You would know that being kind and supportive would be a really important thing to do. So it's even more important to remember to do that for yourself. So what does being kind to yourself look like? Here's some ideas. The first thing you can do to be kind to yourself is to remember that you are doing the best you can. You're a good person and your best is good enough. The next step in being kind to yourself is to do things that make you feel happy. It actually really helps our brain and our body to make ourselves laugh, to relax and to feel good when we feel stressed, anxious and worried. So be silly, do something you really enjoy that's creative, have a bath, wear your favourite clothes, put some makeup on, make yourself feel better. Play with an animal if you've got one, get some fresh air, have a lay-in, have a really good cry. It doesn't matter what you do as long as it makes you feel good. Feeling good is really important. The last thing is that too much information is sometimes not a good thing. If we're worried or stressed or anxious and we go on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or Snapchat or TikTok, the chances are we're only going to see the things that make us even more worried or even more anxious. So it's a really good idea to try and switch off when you're feeling anxious and worried, to connect with your friends and the people that you love and the things that make you feel happy. Try and take an internet break just for a little while, even if it's just for a couple of hours a day. The chances are you're not going to find the things that you want to see on the internet, on Facebook, when you are feeling stressed and worried. So give yourself a little rest. So in summary, it's really, really normal to feel stressed and anxious. It's really important to tell someone so that your brain doesn't explode. It's really important to be kind to yourself, and it's really, really important to look after you and take a little break. In How to Squash Your Anxiety Gremlin Part 2, I'm going to be talking about some more things you can do to help make yourself feel better. For now, bye.